Hey, I just thought about doing a different kind of video to check out, see if it's gonna be funny. And then I come across this guy, Electric Boom, I guess is his name. I've seen somebody do a try not to laugh in one of his clips for sure. I recognize his face of him like messing up a couple of things. So, uh, yeah, let's do it. Let's just watch.
So don't do this at home.
Why are you doing it at home then?
Don't have high voltage. Just the hell? Did I short something? Okay.
That's your concern?
Try. So don't do this at home.
Then why are you doing it at home then? That's probably where you're messing up. That's probably where you're messing up. Calm your nerves. Calm your
What
nerves.
is this? Ow!
Why would you touch that?
One of these days.
Yeah, one of these days you are gonna be sent to the hospital. Why is that on your tongue? Why? 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 Why?
Send it in.
Unplug it already. Yeah, I bet it hurt. Unplug the thing right now. Thank you. Getting views on YouTube is not worth your health. Better stop using. You're gonna keep using it, aren't you? I'm not. I'm not shocked. I shouldn't be shocked at all. He's the one getting shocked. You don't have to go through for science. It is not worth your health. Don't you have like a lab rat or a test monkey or something? That's what other scientists use it for.
It's higher. I made my own taser back in my old video. The arcs can just
I think this was cause he had put his finger around it.
Close to a stun gun when it's running.
It was something like
Everyone
it.
can build something like this or even stronger, but it might not be legal everywhere. Hi, I completed my 1 Tesla kit assembly and I'm excited to try it together. Let's dim the lights. You should always keep a proper distance from Tesla coil. Let's play Pink Panther.
Why are you not? See, he was right. Should have kept a proper distance. Maybe if you social distance, that might have helped.
Might actually follow the standards. So if she was in fact electrocuted, then why? Maybe she dropped the wall adapter in the water, completely submerged it, and then
What? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
See, soapy water is much more conductive than regular water. It shorts everything together, and with everything soaked, it just takes the electricity straight from the contacts to your fingers.
Nobody cares. You're trying to hurt yourself, man.
Earth, it runs through your body to earth and can shock you. But I don't think that's what happened either. She was an intelligent girl. She wouldn't just pick up a fully soaked wall adapter and plug it into the power. Might be
She should have told you to not try this.
Okay. Slippery. I could take it off. Ow! On this circuit, that's responsible for the timing. And you can see a tiny negative sign beside it. That means that that side needs to be connected to ground or negative box.
Dude, what is
The
that?
tip of the gun here simulates a human finger. Always be careful with your tools. You zap a completely assembled unit. But sometimes it's also beneficial to zap a bare board like this one and see what happens on the actual board.
Okay. That's on you.
Never hold the board you're zapping with your hand because the ESD will jump to your body through the board. Now to check my body tolerance, I set the output to minimum. At 0 volts, it's pretty... Oh, I set it to max. It will be lethal in your mouth, but I can do that too.
Oh, that's a pretty light. Why?
Stupidity. My elbow was sitting on one of these wires and the current went through my tongue to my elbow. Even I can feel the electricity with my finger, so I'll
Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it.
Nothing. Let's get close to the wire.
Wait.
Nothing.
Don't go near it, don't go near it, don't go near it.
Oh, I'm starting to feel it here.
Oh, you're now starting to feel it?
What is this? Oh, there's a cut on this finger and the electricity can go through it much easier. You know.
Oh wow, you used your finger that had a cut on it.
I have a solution that will make you work out for dear life. It's called workout or die. It's a simple device. It's a belt that you tie around your belly with a tiny device that senses your motion. As long as you move, you're okay. But if you stop for any reason, it'll zap you like a mother. You will move no matter what, or else you will feel the pain.
There's gotta be a rib on his own self.
The device may often false trigger.
But it reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where he had that tickle thing, that tickling bell around Man Ray, but even after he had it off, he still felt the effects of it while he was trying to rob a bank. Oh!
You will run
What
until the batteries die or you die. Just kidding, we have never had failed batteries. Please don't hurt anyone, including yourself. The device is very simple. It runs on 2 AA or AAA batteries and has 2 electrodes on the bottom and turns on the
How much does
switch.
it cost?
Now if you don't move, it says...
I'm asking for a friend.
Look at this. It's like the entire city of New York in here. Let's see if my thermal camera can figure out what's broken. Obviously the heat is coming from that corner of the board. I wonder what it is.
Heat.
How hot is it?
Hot enough to make that color.
Wow, 135 degrees Celsius?
That's pretty
So
hot.
this black chip is broken, and judging by the number of inductors around it, I assume it's the main power supply for the board.
I make this simple circuit and I'll plug it in. Now the circuit is hot and the voltage is on this. Something you must never forget is that some capacitors, like electrolytic ones, are polarized and you must never connect them backwards or they will blow up. Now I have replaced the capacitor on my circuit and I'll plug it in. In addition to polarity, the capacitors must be rated properly.
Is this to try not to laugh? Because I didn't see it in this. Oh, I didn't read the description.
To measure the 120 volt AC, I put the meter on AC and I measure the voltage.
It sounded like a sneeze, I think. It sounded like a sneeze.
Sometimes when you're probing a line, you might touch the probes, but never forget about the voltage on the probes. And each pair is attached to one of these cables, which we can plug them into the wall power plug.
Oh, you making a guitar? Oh wow, he's actually making an electric guitar.
Please join me for the first time to hear how it sounds.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. Oh Jesus!
Definitely made me sound like a rock star, although it feels more like an electric chair than a guitar.
Nah, you wouldn't be breathing if it was an electric chair.
I've opened the camera, but the first thing to remember is that there are a lot of bits and pieces and small and large screws that go in the camera. So always remember what those were and store them nicely to avoid losing them. Now let's take a look at the camera here. There are a number of electronic circuits
Language!
in the camera, and there are connectors everywhere, like this one, a connector here, 2 connectors there, 1 connector here. This is actually a connector. And if you can see, there is a connector under the connector here. And if I flip the camera, and you can see the lens here, and if I remove the lens, you'll see the giant flash capacitor back here. Ow!
Who said you could touch the capacitor?
Apparently the flash capacitor is holding around 300 volts of charge in it, and it can hurt a lot if you touch it. So I record the head and rotate it.
No
and
kidding.
Mount it on the tail by piercing into the
Canada.
tail. Well, never pierce a hole towards your body. This tail
Wow,
is a little bit
what?
tough, so I'm going to drill a hole into it.
Captain Obvious over here.
Do not
Doing it again.
pierce, cut, or do anything
Look, it's
dangerous to your
Ariel.
body parts. And if you think the scene you just saw was so fake, lame, and unreal, then let me show you my hand. This is a stab wound from many years ago when I tried to pierce open something with a knife and the knife tripped. And this volts. So for example, if I connect my 12-volt supply here to the primary and charge it and then disconnect it, the voltage of the primary should jump up, creating a huge voltage on the secondary here that should create...
Y'all following this? Because I'm not.
Let's try it out.
Boop, 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 boop.
There is nothing. Is there actually a voltage?
Boop. No
My
touches.
theory was right. Obviously, there is high voltage on the secondary, but the problem is that that high voltage pulse period is so short it can't create an arc. But there's source. Let's try it out.
Oh, this is the one. This is the one. No, wait your finger. And bam! That was the one.
It's a strange pain. It's as if somebody is stabbing your finger, but the blade, it doesn't stop there. It keeps going through your veins until it reaches your heart.
I question why you're still alive.
I made it look more like a taser by
Oh, this is the other one.
nails to it. Let's look at it spark now.
It was this one and then that other one. That was the one
This
seen
gap
in
is
Try Not
quite
to Laugh.
wide. Let me measure it for you. Well, you know, metal is generally conductive, and electrons always find the easiest path to travel. Okay, let me show you how well it works. First, without...
Maybe you should get one of those. Maybe if you had gotten one of those like gloves people use, and
If I can just pass these cables...
rather than just risking your bare hands, therefore the rest of your body.
Always finish your wiring before connecting to your power supply. Now instead I'm going to use my power limited supply up here that will drive this pump that's made of this DC brushed motor here. And it's going to run fluid into the cylinder back here that will move it around. Now I enable the power supply.
Did he use that? He sure did.
Always double check
Oh, wow.
connections. Using the knife is dangerous and will not work.
What a
I've seen some
mustache.
women back in Iran that burn their arm hair off on a stove.
Not to
I'm
be
gonna try
in
that.
the stereotypes or anything,
I
but he
have
looked like
my
he
knife
ready to
here
make a
and my
pizza
fire extinguisher in case anything goes wrong.
with all the stuff that he's been shocking his fingers with.
Dab of this on my mustache.
Please tell me you're gonna shock your
Ready to
mustache.
go.
I know he's gonna burn it.
This is a air horn. Make yourself familiar with your tools. The fuse box should be somewhere in the...
Ooh.
The hood has a stand that has to be securely placed into the hood hole. Get together. I'm gonna shoot the box. I put the bullet in, and there's a switch here that acts like a trigger. So here we go. Well, it's always wise.
Well, at
to
least it
aim
didn't
away
pierce
from
your stomach.
yourself. So let's try again. Put the bullet in.
Yeah.
Let's try it a couple more times.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to. Oh, yeah, it was supposed to happen. That box has a family.
Resistor and connect it to the output to see how the waveform changes.
You know, that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of frozen in surge protector.
A quick
lot of
calculation
outlets.
shows having 170 volts across 100 ohm generates 300 watts
Seriously,
of
get
power.
some gloves,
It's
man.
like
You
having
really-
a 300 watt lamp between
Your
your
hands are
fingers.
not
It
your
burns
biggest
skin
fans.
very quickly. Now I use pliers to hold the resistor. See, the output voltage drops, but with very small...
Whoa, that thing is
because
bright.
There's a lot of filtering. Wow, I was holding that. I let it cool down for a while and the ceramic core takes a long
while
time
is not
to cool
long
down.
enough.
And now it... The hell? The hell? Why bad things happen to good people?
You're good people?
Go. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks to my flimsy wire connections to the transformer that fell off quickly, I only sustained some third-degree burns. My stupid
Some
long sparklers
third-degree
made my
burns.
structure top-heavy, which of all people fell right on top of me.
Uh-huh.
I leave a bunch of safety tips on my website, but such experiments are not worth dying for, so don't do it.
that a strong drill battery can take care of. This baby is 12 volts compared to the two double A's that are 3 volts total. It's gonna give it the oomph that it needs. Okay, let's power it up. I better do this one quickly. Never do stupid that you will regret for the rest of your life. The probe on one side and only touch one of the AC lines.
This must be all an act.
Well, that was a pretty bad idea. I couldn't keep steady enough to read the stupid meter. And I could have died. See that? First, you plug it to the inverter. Anytime you connect a power harness,
I did a toothbrush thing. I'm convinced this is all an
so you
act.
wouldn't short your power supply or shock your
For the most part.
here that I can feel. So it's impossible for this to excite a fluorescent bulb.
Yep, for the most part.
Now this string is one that I couldn't fix with the lighter sparker and doesn't turn on either. Let's try the taser now.
Yes, let's try the taser.
You should know better not to get too close to high voltage. Now, scared me.
Why you think I'm not by high voltage? Hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Use the voltage a little bit. Okay, let's do 100 volts. Ready? Should be less painful. Ow. Okay.
You can let it go. You can let it go.
What the? Ow.
You can let it go.
What the is the current rising? Ow.
You can let it go.
It seems like at higher voltage and current, the skin doesn't limit the current anymore. It is failing one way or another, and its resistance is dropping, increasing the current. It'll be a hell of a pain. Okay, come on. Sorry guys, the pain is too much for me, but I'm sure it will. It opened! It opened! Install GFCI in bathrooms, people.
What you been smoking?
Oh my god. Okay, finally, let's power it up.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's done. Let's turn it on and see how it looks like. The LED can be very intense and directional, so don't look into them directly as it may hurt your eyes. I like to put it on my tongue, but before that, I have to reduce the voltage to something like 1 volt, because you know, the resistance of the tongue is much smaller than the skin. And still, if I short the power supply, I get the same 150 amps. Okay, you can see it still sparks. Let's try it out. I thought I set it to 1 volt. Huge. Don't completely trust the gauges on your instruments and always double check them with the meter.
Put it on his tongue. This man trying to hurt him. Not trying, he is hurting himself. How many times has he been in the hospital? Okay, I found it. Okay, he's funny. Hope you like this reaction. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. See you later.